basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by the Lake Area Eagle Stops, the Osage Beach IV, American Sun Control, Jason Blankenship CPA, Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company in downtown Versailles, COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, the Shed Batting Cages, GT Brothers Automotive in Eldon, Citizens Bank of Eldon and Versailles, DeGraff and Reed Heating and Cooling, Bright Printing and Promotional Advertising, Vera Cruz Mexican Restaurant in Versailles, the Morgan County Health Center, the Kidwell Garber Funeral Homes of Versailles and Laurie, Versailles Total Fitness, Big O Tires, and Baxter's Lakeside Grill. Thanks for joining us for high school basketball on MoSportsZone and KS95.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation, this afternoon's presentation, whatever it falls under, of KS95 Sports. We are live at the Legends Bank Holiday Classic here in Linn. One of my absolute favorite places to call a basketball game is the Linn Dome. If you have not been to the Linn Dome, I highly recommend that you plan a trip someday to go see it. I know what you're thinking, Colton. I've been in a dome before. What's so special? This dome is very different because they didn't cover up the ceiling. If you're watching on the stream, I can kind of give you a little shot here with the camera as like the entire inside is still unfinished in the sense that you can see all the poles and lining of it. It's just such a cool facility. But we're here today for the semifinal of this consolation semifinal matchup between the Eldon Mustangs and the Cuba Wildcats. Eldon suffered a tough loss last night in the opening round game against Bell. By the way, this is our Eagle Stop pregame show. Big thanks to our friends at Eagle Stop. I swung by Eagle Stop on the way up here. Had to have my caffeine after a day at work. Got a little snack, hit the road. Always amazed how clean they keep the Eagle Stops. But nonetheless, this is our Eagle Stop pregame show with our Martin Metal broadcast. Another one. I talked to some friends at Martin Metal this morning. If you're a little late on your Christmas shopping, go see Mark and the guys out there. They'll get you taken care of. But in the opening round, it was a tough matchup for the Mustangs. They fell to Bell. When I asked Coach Caudell about it, just chatting with him before the game, so what happened? And he's like, well, we got off to a sluggish start. So that's all there was to it. The first half, we found ourselves in a hole. He said the second half, we actually played pretty well. He said the problem is when you've already put yourself in a 20-point deficit, playing well isn't necessarily enough to get you back in it. So he was happy with the second half effort of his boys and how they managed to turn things around the second half and try to get back in the game, but not quite enough to overcome Bell in that opening round. So for Eldon, you now can look at it and say, hey, we lost the first one, but we could still get 2 wins out of this tournament. 2 wins for the Mustang could put them at 5 on the season before Christmas break. That's nothing to be upset about by any means. So the Mustangs with a big opportunity here, but facing them is a good Cuba squad. I mean, this is a solid, athletic-looking Cuba squad, and Coach Caudell kind of hinted at that, talking about how these kids are willing to run up and down the floor. They're going to play some pretty intense defense, and he just said we've got some physical athletes. We got to keep bodies on people, and we got to keep them off the glass. So I think Eldon's pretty focused going into this one here at Linn High School. We're about 5.5 minutes away from the opening tip. I'm Colton Taylor, and a big shout out to Paige Miller, my engineer, producer, director, whatever we want to call her for the evening, making sure that everything goes smoothly for us tonight here in our Martin Metal broadcast. I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with more of your Eagle Stop pregame show, plus meet the starters. We're in Linn, getting ready for this consolation semifinals. It's Eldon and Cuba. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Building season is here and a great time to visit Martin Metal for the next agricultural, residential, or commercial project on your list. Trusted throughout the heartland, they continue offering only the top quality products in the industry, which ensures beauty and durability for years to come. When in need of a post frame or a stud frame building, you can depend on the dedicated professional staff to help you get your job moving forward. Call 573-378-4050 and speak with a professional today. That's 573-378-4050 or check us out online at martinmetal.com.
The holidays are here, and Eagle Stop is spreading the cheer. Fuel up for family road trips, grab a drink, and treat yourself to your favorite snacks because you earned it. And with the Eagle Stop rewards, every stop brings you closer to more savings, more perks, and more holiday smiles. Friendly faces, fresh food, hometown spirit. That's Eagle Stop. With over 50 locations across Missouri, it's easy to reward yourself. Eagle Stop, your hometown stop for the holidays.
Whoa, Central Ozarks Medical Center, your health, our mission.
This winter,
Support those in need who may need a warm winter coat this season. It's the Central Ozarks Medical Center's Winter Coat Drive. Please donate any new, gently used, or freshly laundered jacket, coat, gloves, hats, scarves, or any other winter wear. If you or your family member need one of these items, simply stop by any location and grab something off the rack. You'll find COMC locations in Camdenton on North Business Route 5, Osage Beach at 3870 Columbia Avenue, Richland at 304 West Washington Avenue, in Eldon at 407 East 15th Street, the Lori location at 401 North Main Street, and the Hy-Vee location in Osage Beach. Share the warmth. One coat, one community with Central Ozarks Medical Center.
COMC, the healthy place to be.
And we are back with our Eagle Stop pregame show, getting ready for this matchup between Eldon and Cuba. I actually just got some really cool news. I was talking with Cody Tam's father and just heard the good news that Cody is committing. I'm not sure what just happened here. Okay, never mind. Just heard the good news that Cody is going to be continuing his athletic career at Mo Valley. So congratulations to Cody Tam. Boy, they're getting a good one in Cody. What an athlete he is and how much fun he is to watch out on the court. Well, they're going to need Cody tonight. They're going to need all of them tonight as they take on these Wildcats out of Cuba. If the Mustangs would win, they would advance in this tournament to the consolation game, which would be played on Friday at 7 o'clock right here in the Linn Dome. The loser of this game will move on to the 7th place game. That will be played Friday at 4. Now, we will also be back a little bit later on this week as coming up on... I was trying to do math in my head. Coming up on what will be Thursday, it will be Osage and Tipton. They will be facing off at 7 o'clock for the right to play in the championship game on Saturday. We'll be back with that one as well. But tonight, it's the Mustangs and the Wildcats getting ready to do battle in this one. Now, the last time I actually got to see Eldon, which I apologize, I had full intention of being here last night, but I had some other commitments that kind of took me away from that. I did not plan appropriately, so it's 100% my fault that we were not able to cover the opening round games. But the last time I saw Eldon was against Sullivan when they played the Eagles, and Mustangs look crisp, especially in the first half. I don't believe the final score is fully indicative of how that game went. I mean, Eldon dominated. They went on a 14-0 run to start the game and really didn't look back the entire way. Sullivan was able to cut it to single digits for a little while in the fourth. But in all honesty, it was a dominant performance from the Mustangs. So if Eldon can get that kind of energy back here this evening, I really think they could have an impressive showing against this Cuba lineup. And was waiting to see if we're going to get the national anthem before the game, if we'll go straight into our starting lineups. That'll kind of determine what I do here with this pregame show. But a big thanks to both Martin Metal, our title sponsor all season long. Martin Metal, always a proud supporter of high school sports. And, of course, the Eagle Stop, our pregame sponsor and the sponsor of our starting lineups, coming up here in just a bit. And the way they're lining up, it does look like we are going to get our national anthem to start this game, which, by the way, is streaming at MoSportsZone.com. So if you're listening on the radio, think you want to give it a watch, you can go check it out. We're going to take a break for the national anthem. We'll come back with your starting lineups. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Baxter's Lakeside Grill is proud to support high school athletics, and they're ready to make your holidays unforgettable. Call today to reserve your holiday dinner at 573-365-2669. Whether it's a family get-together or a night out with friends, Baxter's has the perfect table waiting. And while you're there, pick up a Baxter's gift card, the perfect stocking stuffer for anyone who loves great food and a beautiful lake view. Savor the food. Remember the view. Baxter's Lakeside Grill on Bagnell Dam Boulevard in Lake Ozark.
Custom railing stairs that gleam. Awnings made just like your dream. American Sun controls the name. Since 1985, they lead the game. Screen enclosures keep bugs at bay. Enjoy your summer every day. Family owned and local too. American Sun Control. Made for you.
Hi, I'm Jason Blankenship, owner of Jason Blankenship CPA LLC. As the year quickly draws to a close, it's time to start thinking about tax planning strategies for your farm and business. We are happy to meet with you and help you see where things stand for the year. We can also give you advice on ways to spend money to help you grow your business, all while maximizing your tax savings. No matter what your tax, payroll, or accounting needs are, Jason Blankenship CPA LLC has got you covered. Celebrating 10 years of service to the Central Missouri area and looking forward to many more, give us a call at 573-557-2417 or stop by and see us at 401 East North Street in Eldon.
Take your softball and baseball skills to the next level. The Shed is Eldon's own indoor hitting facility that features 2 full cages with screens, tees, and pitching lanes. You'll love their top-of-the-line pitching machine that throws a variety of speeds with precise locations to perfect your swing. The Shed also has a workout facility. You can add it to your cage rental or just purchase as a regular membership. Open Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 8, and Saturday and Sunday from noon to 8. Look for the big white building across from Gerb's in Eldon. Book times now on Facebook at The Shed LLC. See you at The Shed.
Looking for a ride that won't wreck your wallet? Head to GT Brothers Automotive in Eldon, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Yep, no hidden fees, no nonsense. Just great vehicles, incredible prices, and hometown service that keeps you rolling long after the sale. They've got a huge selection of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, and bank and credit union rates starting below 5% with approved credit. The deal just gets sweeter. So swing by GT Brothers Automotive on Business Highway 54 South in Eldon or call 573-557-2200. Where buying your next ride is actually fun. And we're back with our Eagle Stop pregame show, getting ready for this matchup between Eldon and Cuba. Real quick, we'll run through the starters for the away team in this game, the Cuba Wildcats. Starting for them, it'll be number 4, Cameron Carnell. Number 12, it is Braden Gibson. Number 13, Ethan Noltkamper. Number 15, Caleb Brown. And number 23, AJ Flores. For the Mustangs, going to be number 1, Talon Hull. Number 3, Britton Ahart. Number 5, Lane Stokes. Number 10, Rhett Bayshore. And number 24, they list both on there. Number 24, the Mo Val commit, Cody Tam. Mustangs in their home whites with the gold trim and the black and gold for Cuba. On the opening tip, it is controlled and won by Ahart, and the Mustangs will have the first look at this one. On the offensive end, driving baseline, dished underneath, fed to Ahart. His shot comes up just short off the front iron. Cuba with the rock, looking to push it up the floor. They get into the front court. Out on the right wing, looking for a cut to the basket. It's bobbled and stolen. No, nearly stolen. Tied up, a dish back out. I thought Bayshore had it for sure, but Cuba able to maintain possession. Looking to attack on the left side. Shot fake, but it's blocked by Ahart, recovered by Tam. Cody wants to run. Cody on the right wing. Defense gets back, able to strip it and steal it, but stepping on the baseline, so the ball will stay with the Mustangs. Rather frantic start to this one. Get a substitution in here for Cuba as Eldon will inbounds into their own basket. Lob it into Talon. Into Ahart, splits 2 defenders. He is fouled. They had Ahart as the trigger man, and off the inbounds he stepped in, received it using a screen to try to curl around. Now Stokes will inbound for the Mustangs. This is the Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company, first quarter of action. Talon on the wing, goes back to Stokes in the corner. Thought about the 3. He'll go back to Talon on the wing, skips it to Tam. Rhett inside to Britton. Talon makes space. His runner off the glass just comes off the iron, and the rebound controlled by Cuba. So a couple good looks for Eldon, just wouldn't fall early. We're still tied at 0 apiece a minute into this one. Shot fake in the corner for Cuba. They don't want the look, so they're going to go ahead and reset. Attack, dish to the corner. Looking to drive is Robinson. A hand check foul going to go against the Mustangs. They're going to get Bayshore for that one, both his first and the team's first. Cuba gets it at the top of the key, going to reset. Eldon looks like they're in a 2-3 zone here. Oh, an inside screen sets up a corner 3. Rattles, won't fall, and a strong rebound by Ahart. Mustangs looking to run the floor. Tam, strong take, but the shot partially blocked, and Cuba with the board. So neither team able to get the lid off the basket just yet in this one. We played a minute and a half. Out on the left wing, Cuba going to reset. Now it's straight man defense from the Mustangs. Cuba spin move, dish into the corner. Good closeout, though. Another skip. It's tipped by Tam, but recovered by Cuba. Eldon with very active hands early in this one. Top of the key, Cuba trying to be very patient. Tam there defensively. They're flashing down low. I think Eldon has the size advantage in this one. Drive inside, extra pass to the weak side, block laid up and in. First points of the game go to the Wildcats of Cuba. Racing down the floor, lob backdoor, and Tam had the dunk and it came off the back iron. A good look, just couldn't finish. That's 3 that Eldon have left right at the iron. Mustangs are getting the looks they want, just can't seem to get the ball to go through the hoop at the moment. Cuba trying to spread things out a little bit. Going to work is Noltkamper. He needs help, and he finds it at the top of the key in Brown. Brown loses it. It's picked up by Tam. Running the floor, extra pass, Stokes, and I think Stokes had a layup if he wanted. Instead, he tossed a lob to Cody, who wasn't expecting it. They reset back out to Stokes. He'll fire the 3 and get it. Who needs the lob if you're going to get the 3? Mustangs take the lead 3-2 with 5:08 to play in the Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. Back the other way now is Cuba. Good defense played by Talon Hull. Short corner jumper, but it's taken away by Ahart. Oh, nice cut to the basket. But they're going to wave it off and call an illegal screen on Cuba. So Cuba got to see a layup fall, but an illegal screen will take that off the board. Mustangs maintain the lead and regain possession. 4:48 to play in the Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. Once again, Eldon, they've looked fine offensively. They've got point-blank looks. Just one of those that don't fall, and you don't really even understand how they haven't fallen. But, I got to believe if Eldon can keep getting looks like that, they are going to go in. Talon, hesitation, left side of the glass, shot just short again. I also got to wonder, you just played a tough game last night, and you turn around and play in a 4 o'clock game now today. That's got to be a tough turnaround for a high school kid. These kids were doing algebra 30 minutes ago. It's stolen by Tam. Cody racing up the left side of the floor. Tosses it to Bayshore, who lobs it back to Cody, who kisses it off the left side of the glass and in. A nice run from the Mustangs. 5-0 run to make it a 5-2 ball game halfway through this Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. A timeout called by Cuba. We'll take the break as well. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
With a Citizens Bank debit card, you'll never have to wonder if your check will be accepted. Hi, this is Ryan Pryor from Citizens Bank of Eldon and Versailles. You can use your card anywhere a MasterCard debit card is accepted. To make purchases at your favorite merchant, get cash in an ATM, or to make a purchase online. Your purchases will be deducted from your checking account and will appear on your monthly statement. Ask for an application. Member FDIC.
A hometown bank, a hometown friend.
Well, Eldon started this game with 3-point blank misses. Cuba jumped out to the early 2-0 lead, but since then, it is a 5-0 run from the Mustangs. They lead 5-2 with 4:10 remaining here in the Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. Winner moves on to the consolation game to be played on Friday. Cuba working around this now zone defense of the Mustangs, I believe. High post action. Maybe this is still, no, this is a zone. This is for sure a zone. Eldon is throwing some different looks defensively at Cuba, and I'm here for it. Wildcats force a look out of the corner off the far iron. An offensive rebound given up. Cuba keeps it alive. Pass to the opposite block. Double team comes, and great defensive effort from the Mustangs. The double team forced the post player from Cuba to try to pivot around, and he pivoted one too many times, and they call that a travel. Cuba now going to a 2-2-1 press. Eldon able to break it down. They get 2 on the backside. One of them is Cody Tam, and he's got the bucket. I don't think Cuba wants to press this Eldon team. Eldon looks fast right now. Back the other way, the Wildcats, 7-5. Mustangs on a 7-0 run right now. Ball's on the floor, and so is Bayshore. You gotta love the effort. As soon as that ball started rolling on the court, Rhett Bayshore just dove for it, tied it up. It's a jump ball, and possession arrow will favor Cuba. So the Wildcats set to inbounds under their own basket. Once again, very cool atmosphere here in the Linn Dome. Cuba gets it into the corner. Kind of looks like maybe running an America set, but instead they're going to fire back to the corner, go to the low block. Turning the corner, blowing a tire, and losing the basketball. Mustangs have it, and they want to run. Stokes drops it off to Talon Hull. Talon crossover, gets to the short corner, finds Tam on the block, who lays it up and in. Great start to the game for the Mustangs, especially Cody Tam. He's found his way to the rim a few times, and Cody's not going to miss many of those. Eldon leads 9-2 right now. Trying to run a weave, and it's lost on the floor, tied up. This time it's Cody diving on it. Another jump ball going to be called, but this possession arrow will favor the Mustangs. So Cuba got that first bucket, but since then, the Eldon defense has been smothering. It is a 9-0 run from the Mustangs right now. We've got 2:45 remaining in the Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. Eldon going to work offensively. Ahart goes to the block to Tam. He's looking for the cutter. That's Talon. Talon takes some contact, and it's going to send him to the COMC free throw line. Trying to put the Mustangs into double digits here in the first quarter. That'll be the third team foul on the Wildcats. First free throw rattles out for Talon. This gym gets eerily quiet on free throws. When you're the only announcer talking, you feel a little weird about it. Second free throw off the mark as well, so 0 for 2 from the line. And a steal once again by Eldon. Ahart has it racing up the floor. Mustang defense phenomenal. Oh, a nice cut to the block, feeding Tam again. He's got another lay-in. Cody Tam cooking early in this one. Eldon leads 11-2 over Cuba. Mustangs looking for win number 4 on the season. Cuba working into the front court. Bayshore's there. He pokes it loose. He steals it, and he wants to run with it. Rhett up the left side. Through the contact. Finishes with a tough one off the glass. Bayshore the bucket, and it's a 13-2 Eldon lead. A 13-0 run from the Mustangs, and it's all fueled by defense right now. Bayshore gambles on another steal. Doesn't get it, but forces the double dribble. This Eldon defense is phenomenal right now. Bayshore going to get a well-deserved breather. I joked with Coach before the game. I was like, does Rhett actually need rest? And he goes, no, the kid's like the Energizer Bunny. He said even when I take him out to get a breather, he's ready to go. But Zach Hull will check into the game, a sharpshooter for the Mustangs. Skip past Ahart, shot fake. He drives baseline around the defense, lays it up and in. Mustangs in full control right now. This is an impressive start to this game for Eldon. Trying to find any kind of answer is Cuba. Drive left side. The Mustangs are there. Hull now providing the double team. It's whipped around the right side. Corner 3, thought about it, but a quick closeout from Stokes. Firing to the block. They get one inside around the Mustang defense and ending the 15-0 run with a lay-in on the right block. It's now 15-4 in favor of Eldon. 1:03 to play in the Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company first. Talon Hull, strong drive to the basket. A little too strong as they're going to call him for the charge. Ball will go back to the Wildcats. An 11-point Mustang lead early in this one. Once again, it's one thing when you can jump out to go on a 15-0 run because, you hit 5 straight threes, you got hot-handed. Eldon's doing it defensively. And that's the beauty of it. Defense travels. If you're going to play with that effort, you're always going to be able to play defense like that. And that has been a calling card of this Mustang squad for a long, long time. Bayshore already back into the game, and he's got another steal off to the races. He dumps it off. Back to Bayshore. A little two-man game won't go. Ahart, though, gets the board, trying to make space. Puts it up through the contact. Shot won't fall. Cuba has the board. 34 seconds to go. Cuba able to break the pressure, get it across half court, but now in a double team needs help. They get it to the left wing. Crossover, short corner, thought about the jumper, but a good closeout from the Mustangs. In trouble, it's stolen and taken away by Tam. Cody running the floor. On the fast break, hangs in the air. His shot just comes off the iron again. I'm telling you, the Mustangs have left no less than 10 points right at the iron in this first quarter, and they still lead by 11. Cuba back the other way. 3 seconds to play on the wing. Clock at 1, and Cuba turnaround jumper. They got it off in time, but it rattles and will not fall. We've played one, and at the end of the Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action, Mustangs lead the Wildcats 15-4. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Since 1944, Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company, Morgan County's only locally owned lumber yard, has been providing the area with quality building materials needed for its building, remodeling, and repair projects. Because customer care is Carpenter Gunther's #1 goal, your project is always their priority. They take as much pride in your project as you do. Reach them at 378-4433 Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, and 8 to noon on Saturday. Carpenter Gunther, where they put the home in hometown business.
When you're looking for a new furnace or air conditioner, price is important, but warranty, reliability, and efficiency are big factors too. At DeGraff and Reed Heating and Cooling, you'll receive very competitive pricing on the industry-leading AirEase products. Every AirEase product is built on 80 years of experience, testing, and research. Servicing the Lake and Jefferson City areas for nearly 15 years, DeGraff and Reed Heating and Cooling for reliable products offered by reliable people called DeGraff and Reed Heating and Cooling.
We get ready to start our second quarter of action. Eldon leads 15-4. I need to go down and ask the Tam family where they got this recording stand. Their tripod, I think it follows the ball on its own, unless they're controlling it some other way. I need to know about that later on. Nonetheless, Cuba going to work offensively at the top of the key, looking for the back cut. I mean, Eldon's defense has been phenomenal. Gave up 4 in the first quarter. A mid-range jumper too long. Offensive board given up, and the putback is good for the Wildcats. So Cuba, that's how they wanted to start this second half, kind of the opposite for the Mustangs. We'll see if Eldon can answer on the other end in the half court. Talon steps inside this 2-3 zone. Skip pass. Wing 3. Halfway down for Holzak, that is. Rebound Cuba, and the Wildcats want to run. Dribble drive was taken away by the Mustangs. Cuba going to reset, get a play call out from the coach. Coach Caudell so emphatic about his defense. I mean, he is out there hollering with his boys, telling them what to look for, but he's also got his hands out, showing them he wants their hands out. Very active coaching. Corner 3 from Cuba, up and good. So a quick 5-0 burst to start this second quarter for the Wildcats has it back to a 6-point game. Eldon looking to answer, but it's a turnover. Cuba has it, and a foul by Ahart stopped the fast break. And Coach Caudell has seen enough. A quick flurry from Cuba to make this a 15-6 game just in this first minute and 11 of the second quarter of action. He wants to talk it over. I'll go ahead and hold it here as we are in the midst of just a 30-second timeout. Once again, the winner of this game advances to the consolation game. That consolation game will be played on Friday at 7 o'clock right here at the Linn Dome. We'll be back on Thursday, though, as on Thursday it is School of the Osage and the Tipton Cardinals facing off at 7 o'clock for the right to go to the championship game on Saturday. I'm really impressed with Tipton. They got a late start to the season because of football. They played 2 games. They've won them both, but a big test as they take on a very talented Osage squad. And that's an Osage squad this Eldon Mustang squad is going to be very familiar with, not only because of conference play, but they're also district opponents. So I'm sure Eldon's going to be keeping an eye on that one. Cuba takes the inbounds pass. Looking to go to work. Straight man defense for the Mustangs. Trying to spread it out a little bit. To the left wing. Zach Hull there defensively. Takes the drive away. It's picked up. Skip to the right side. Excuse me, that was Stokes. Now that was Hull on the last one. Bayshore out on the point guard. You're always in a good situation when you have Bayshore there defensively. This is now a 25-second possession for the Wildcats, as Eldon really giving up no space whatsoever. And Cuba going to reset again. 6 on the game clock. We're over 30 seconds into this. Anytime in high school ball that you can make a team play offense for more than 15 to 20 seconds, you're doing something right. And Eldon's now been doing it for about 45 seconds. A drive from Cuba, and they tried to stop on a dime and instead dragging the pivot foot. That's going to be a travel, so 45 seconds of offense, but results in a turnover. The Mustang defense gets the job done. Stokes will get a breather as Ahart checks back into the game, and Eldon goes back to work offensively. Zach Hull out on the wing. Ahart top of the key into Talon. Nice feed to the back cut. Tam's got another lay-in. Cody really carrying the scoring load early in this one for the Mustangs as they push the lead back up to 8. They do a great job of just letting Cody float on that baseline. He moves well without the ball, and they're always looking for him. Back to work is Cuba. Running that weave. Good closeout. Fire into the block. Holes there, and he partially blocked it and got the rebound. Talon going to push it up the floor. The left side is Bayshore. Bayshore inside, spin move, scoop shot off the glass, almost falls, but Ahart there with the tip in. 19-9, it's back to a 10-point lead for the Mustangs. It's the second quarter of this Martin Metal broadcast in this consolation semifinal game. Eldon's defense once again holding Cuba to just 9 points thus far in the game, and 5 of them came in a quick minute flurry to start this second quarter. Cuba gets inside. Nothing there. Second attempt at the drive, looking for the back cut. Driving baseline, but no good looks. You drive baseline, and you had Ahart and Tam both waiting for you. So Cuba's going to have to reset out at the volleyball line. Zach Hole applying pressure. Around the left wing. Mustang bench clapping, trying to make some noise, show some support for their starters here because, the Mustang defense has been great on the block. Out to a left wing three for Cuba, and it's rattled in. That was a big bucket for the Wildcats. As offense has been few and far between right now for Cuba, but a big three to make it once again a 7-point game. But they find Cody on the back cut again. Cody is going to make a living this evening out of just floating on that baseline. He gets another lay-in. I feel bad that I'm not keeping score or keeping stats. I'm doing all this on my own at the moment. But Cody got to be well in double digits already. He may have 12. Cuba patiently around the outside. Over halfway through this second quarter of action. It's a 9-point Mustang lead. Looking for a cutter, nothing there. Cuba has to reset on the left wing. Drive floater off the glass, won't go. Rebound tipped and winds up in the hands of a Wildcat. Thought about the wing three, but Bayshore closes out and runs him off the line. Cuba, they keep trying to post Talon, but the kid posting him is about the same height as him, and Talon seems more physical. They flip it to the block, out to the corner. Left wing corner, rattles around and falls. So the three ball working for Cuba, and they've cut it down to a 6-point game. Eldon racing the other way, and they get it underneath to who else but Cody Tam. He's fouled on the lay-in attempt, and he'll go to the COMC free throw line for 2. You get the feeling that Eldon is just trying to go on a little run and break this thing open, but Cuba has had an answer here in the second quarter. First free throws up and good for Cody. Makes it 22-15. Second free throw rattles and falls as well. 23-15 is the Mustang lead with 3:06 to play in the second quarter of this Martin Metal broadcast. Eldon extending their defense all the way out to the volleyball line as Stokes picked up all the way out there. Cuba, once again, very patient, just working around the outside. But Eldon giving up very little. It's tough for Cuba to find a driving lane at the moment. By the way, into the game for Eldon, Cale Hammond has made his first appearance. He's there defensively, takes it away at the free throw line. Cuba goes back out to the wing, and they're going to reset again as Bayshore staring him down. Left side, Stokes there defensively. Cuba in the short corner, but Ahart makes him think twice about it. And the pass almost thrown out of bounds, but Cuba able to step back and recover it as it was closer to the Eldon bench than it really was another player. We're back to another 45-second possession. Eldon with an 8-point lead, and his defense has just been elite. Right wing shot fake, drive, spin move, nothing there. Dished out to the left wing, good closeout. Stokes splitting the defense, but the layup too hot. Talon Hole has the board and looks to run with it. Talon gives it up to Bayshore on the left side, takes the contact off balance, flips it in and scores. We joked against Sullivan that I truly believe Rhett Bayshore has a higher field goal percentage when he is off balance and shooting sideways. The kid doesn't miss those shots. It's back to a 10-point game. Mid-range jumper, that looked pure. Knocked down for the Wildcats, so Cuba cuts it back to 8. The corner, Ahart finds the cutter. Talon, one dribble up and in. Just a simple power dribble, set his feet, went up strong, scored, and put it back to a double-digit game. 1:15 remaining. Oh, near steal by Stokes. Cuba gets inside to the block, has to give it back up to the wing. Little drive and dish, corner three, high archer, but a good result. So threes have kept Cuba in this game as it's back to 7. Eldon on the offensive end, moving a little too quick as the pass was just a smidge behind Hammond. It's lost out of bounds, so the Wildcats will get the ball back, down 7 with 56 seconds remaining in this first half of play. Thing is, 56 seconds is about what these offensive possessions have been taking for Cuba, so I'll be interested to see how this one works out. Cuba very patiently walking this into the front court. They may be more than happy to have the last shot of the half. The ball's lost, but it winds up in the hands of a Wildcat in the corner. Tam pressuring defensively, top of the key, putting it on a hip and calling out a set. Cuba looking to penetrate as we hit 30 seconds remaining in this first half of play. Out to the right wing. Good closeout, left wing three, dialed up from the Wildcats, won't go. Rebounds tipped, controlled by Ahart. He fires ahead to Tam, who had leaked out, hangs up in the air, won't go. Rebound tipped off the iron. Cuba has it with 12 seconds to go. I'm telling you, the Mustangs have left 12 to 14 points at the iron. Corner three for Cuba, up off the iron, won't go. 6 seconds remaining. Bayshore with the board looking to run. Plenty of time for Eldon to get a look here. Fired ahead, three from Stokes, and he got it. Just before the buzzer, Lane Stokes with a big bucket, and it pushes it back to a double-digit lead. We've played one half of basketball, and Eldon leads Cuba 30-20. Your Hy-Vee halftime show is coming up. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Got a savings account for car problems you didn't see coming? Who does? Thankfully, Big O Tires has you covered with Big O Financing. So if you need tires, brakes, or any other type of maintenance, your locally owned Big O Tires can help. And if that's not easy enough, you can schedule your appointment right now at BigOTires.com. Easy financing, easy appointments. Big O Tires, always working hard to cover you and your vehicle's blind spot. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Schedule an appointment now at BigOTires.com.
A full-service graphics company, Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising does it all, from screen printing, offset printing, and promotional advertising to custom-built trophies and awards. It's where they do it the right way. Check out their Facebook page for their monthly special, and don't forget they offer online stores for all your group and activities needs. Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising, across from the Family Center on Highway 52 East in Versailles. Call 573-378-5775.
Veracruz Mexican Restaurant invites you to join them for a casual lunch or a nice family dinner out with delicious, authentic Mexican cuisine. Veracruz has a great selection of burritos, tacos, seafood, enchiladas, salads, and more, all prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Grab dinner tonight from one of their 3 locations: Veracruz on South Highway 5 in Versailles, Veracruz Jr. on Highway 52 in Stover, or on Highway 65 in Lincoln. Veracruz Mexican Restaurant, a proud sponsor of local athletes. The goal of the Morgan County Health Center in Versailles is to make sure you feel your best and stay that way. A few of the public health and community services available at the Morgan County Health Center include CPR and first aid training, food safety classes, educational materials and classes promoting healthy lifestyles and activities, children and adult immunizations, and nutrition for expectant mothers and young children through the WIC program. For more information, follow the Morgan County Health Center on Facebook or call 378-5438. The Morgan County Health Center at 104 West Lafayette in Versailles, connecting the community to healthy choices.
We are back with the Hy-Vee halftime show as Eldon leads Cuba by a score of 30-20. I was actually in the half texting with our buddy Craig Allen. Of course, Craig Allen is the voice of the Osage Indians. Osage got a win in the opening round of this Linn tournament, and they advance on to the championship semifinals. We will get to see them on Thursday, as they will be battling it out with the Tipton Cardinals for the right to move on to the championship game. Of course, School of the Osage has had a good team for a little while now. That's a good program over there. I always look forward to seeing them. And, of course, look forward to getting to see my old buddy Craig Allen and, of course, Steve with him. And they do such a great job over there on Cool 102.7 and just the games at MoSportsZone.com. I have to be nice to Craig because, in all honesty, Craig's graphic work is just phenomenal. So if by chance he is still listening, I hope someday my graphics are half as good as yours. That's all I'll say on that. But you can catch that game on Thursday on either our sister station, Cool 102.7, or, of course, here on KS95, as we'll be there with the Tipton Cardinals. Craig and them there with School of the Osage. But the game will be there in 2 platforms at MoSportsZone.com. But what we're talking about right now is halftime of Cuba and Eldon. It's just a 10-point lead for the Mustangs. And I say just because, in complete honesty, I think that Eldon has been on the doorstep of really blowing this thing open several times. Eldon came out, and the first bucket of the game went to Cuba, and then Eldon followed it up with, I believe it was an 11-0 run or a 13-0 run. I mean, their defense has been phenomenal. There have been several sets where it seems like Cuba struggled to get any kind of a look, and offensively, Eldon has just been working the ball around the outside while allowing Cody Tam to float that baseline, and they do a good job feeding him on the back cut. But it's been there every time. So I really believe if Eldon can just string together a couple stops, not to mention the Mustangs, you're going to have misses every game. I totally get that. But we're talking point-blank layups that either got smoked off the backboard or hit the front of the iron. Looks you don't expect some of these kids to miss. I bet Eldon's left 14 points out there that they would normally get at the rim. So, you know, you can always say what ifs, and who knows how this second half gets going. But I do think it's very much on the table that if Eldon can keep this defensive intensity, just get a couple of those point-blank looks to fall, this 10-point lead could blossom pretty quickly. But this is a Cuba squad that, as Coach Caudell put it before the game, has been in every game they've played in this year. They played some good teams. You know, I just heard, you know, they played Fatima to a very close competitive game. That's a Fatima squad that I saw first game of the season, actually, when they played the Versailles Tigers. That Comet squad has 6'5", 6'5", 6'7", and 6'7". And, of course, Fatima's always good. And this Cuba squad played with them. So, I mean, this is no joke of a game and a good test for the Mustangs. But Eldon looking to get win number 4 on the season, and would be a big one to send them to the consolation game coming up Friday at 7 o'clock. Mizzou got their 10th win of the season over the weekend as they took out, I don't even remember who they beat this time. It's one of those that before you get into SEC play, you'll play a couple good ones like your Notre Dames and people like that, but then you also sprinkle in several tune-up games, and I think that would qualify as a tune-up game as Mizzou was able to win comfortably in that one, but still a big test. The big news for Mizzou is the class coming next year. Mizzou has the #1 recruiting class in the nation in basketball, but one of their recruits is the #1 point guard in the nation, the #2 overall player, and he's out of the state of California, and he just set the California single-game scoring record last week as well. So Mizzou got to be very excited for the fact that they are getting a certified bucket next year. And, I mean, they have 3 of the top 15 recruits in the nation on their squad next year. So Mizzou got to be very excited about that. I was trying to look over here and see, as Mizzou's next contest, do the Tigers play again? I feel bad. I should have asked Paige this in the break because I know that they play this week at some point. I know we have it up at the station, but I'm not positive off the top of my head what day Mizzou plays this week or who they actually play next. So I'm trying to flip through and see if I could find, but I'm not having a whole lot of luck at the moment. The next game that I have on the schedule is I see that Mizzou plays the #8 team in the nation, the Illinois Fighting Illini. That old boy, what is that one called? Is that that rivalry has a great name too. That's not the Border War. That's with Kansas. I can't think of what they call the game with the Fighting Illini, but the #18 Illinois Fighting Illini, and that game is at Illinois. Illini at 8-3, Mizzou at 10-2. But Mizzou, I mean, I think Mizzou would be ranked right now, except for the fact you lost to Kansas by 20. You had Notre Dame beat and let them come back. If they had beat Notre Dame and lost to Kansas, I think Mizzou would be ranked right now. But that was a tough loss, but Mizzou's schedule about to get much more interesting as, once again, they play #18 Illinois, then they've got #23 Florida, then you get Kentucky and Ole Miss, #21 Auburn, LSU, #25 Georgia. You'll get Oklahoma, 16 Bama, Mississippi State, all coming up in January. So we're going to find out a lot about the Tigers as they are up to their 10-2 record already in the year. But we're going to find out a lot about the Mustangs in this second half as well. They lead by 10 over the Wildcats, and we'll see see if they can increase that lead and maybe pick up a big win here in the consolation semifinals and punch their ticket to that consolation game on Friday. Rest of your Hy-Vee halftime show is coming up in just a moment. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Since 1844, Kidwell Garber Funeral Home has been a part of Versailles. They've seen the community grow. They've seen the community change. But one thing remains the same. Nothing's more important than our schools. Kidwell Garber would like to take this time to salute everyone involved in keeping Versailles schools a source of pride for the community, and to the students who always strive to do their best, whether in sports or academically. You are the future. From Kidwell Garber Funeral Homes of Versailles and Lori.
Reaching your fitness goals doesn't have to be tough at Versailles Total Fitness. Tara Grantham is a certified personal trainer and registered occupational therapist who can help you reach your goals in a safe, efficient manner. Get your membership set up today and talk to Tara about training so you can take the first step in becoming a healthier you. Contact Versailles Total Fitness at 573-789-6800 Monday through Wednesday from 9 to 5:30, or see them in person at 131 North Monroe Street in Versailles.
Hi, I'm Jason Blankenship, owner of Jason Blankenship CPA LLC. As the year quickly draws to a close, it's time to start thinking about tax planning strategies for your farm and business. We are happy to meet with you and help you see where things stand for the year. We can also give you advice on ways to spend money to help you grow your business, all while maximizing your tax savings. No matter what your tax, payroll, or accounting needs are, Jason Blankenship CPA LLC has got you covered. Celebrating 10 years of service to the Central Missouri area and looking forward to many more, give us a call at 573-557-2417 or stop by and see us at 401 East North Street in Eldon.
The holidays are here, and Eagle Stop is spreading the cheer. Fuel up for family road trips, grab a drink, and treat yourself to your favorite snacks because you earned it. And with the Eagle Stop rewards, every stop brings you closer to more savings, more perks, and more holiday smiles. Friendly faces, fresh food, hometown spirit. That's Eagle Stop. With over 50 locations across Missouri, it's easy to reward yourself. Eagle Stop, your hometown stop for the holidays.
As we enter the American Sun Control third quarter of action, Eldon will get the first look at this one. They went Tam at the high post, and he was fouled on the attack. They'll wave off the basket, but possession will stay with the Mustangs. 30-20 as we start the second half. Little America set. Stokes, corner three, won't go. Oh, but following and cleaning it up, Cody Tam with the offensive board and put back. Tam is having a game, to say the least. So the lead restored to 12. Here to start this American Sun Control third quarter of action. How does Cuba reply? They're passing and screening away, trying to set something up at the top of the key, but the Mustangs close out quickly. Look at the wing. Ahart takes it away. Inside out game. Nothing there. Step around three. Forced up off the iron. Won't go. Tipped and controlled by Britton. Ahart wants to run. Ahart gives it up to Tam on the right side. He gets to the block. Flips off the glass and in. And Cody is having a night. Once again, I really feel bad that I'm not keeping stats. I don't know. Cody's got to be somewhere in the mid-teens, closing in on 20 already. Going to the block is Cuba. Turnaround jump shot, too strong, crashing the boards. Good box out by Stokes, and they'll say it was last touched by the Wildcats. Ball back to the Mustangs, so they lead by 14 and have the rock. Eldon going to go to work here. Stokes on the point. Talon on the left wing, directing some traffic against this zone. They go inside to Ahart, and I think he dribbled it off his foot. It was lost on the floor. Mustangs pick it back up. Around the outside, Tam goes to the corner to Bayshore. Rhett drives, skips it to Stokes on the wing. To Talon, inside to Ahart, back out to Bayshore, thought about the wing three, instead jump stop inside, feeds Ahart on the backside, laid up and in. Beautiful pass from Bayshore to Ahart to set up the lay-in, and the Mustangs have extended this to a 16-point game. Cuba gets it inside. This Mustang defense is just really not allowing anything inside the three-point line. It's taking Cuba 45 seconds to a minute on possessions just to get a look from three. Drive baseline, skip to the opposite corner. Three's fired off the iron, won't go. Tam has another board. Cody Strong with it, finds Stokes. Stokes a skip pass to Talon. Talon inside. His shot blocked, but he was fouled and will go to the COMC free throw line. So Eldon came out and started this American Sun Control third quarter on quite a run. Defense and offense really putting in work. First free throw from Talon is good. So it's now a 7-0 run from the Mustangs. Talon could make it 8. Second free throw is good as well. So the Mustang lead is at 18 with 5:35 to play in the American Sun Control third quarter of action. Cuba needing to find any kind of offense they can out on the wing. Trying to get inside. Drive now on the left side. Stokes takes it away. Back to the top of the key. It's just drive, screen away, and dish for Cuba. And Eldon seems to have figured it out, and they're reading it pretty well. They tried a loud back door, but Tam with the help defense. He was losing it out of bounds, had to throw back blindly. Cuba picks it up. Shot fake to get Tam in the air, finishing around. So the first points of the second half, and another steal from Cuba. They feed the cutter. Layup won't go, but Bayshore gets the miss. Eldon now looking to run back the other way. Tam off balance shot won't go. Ahart's tip won't go. It's out of bounds. They'll say Britton had the last touch. 38-22, 4:51 to play in the American Sun Control third quarter of our Martin Metal broadcast. Mid-range jumper from Cuba off the front iron. Ahart the board. Mustangs looking to run. Britton in the middle of the floor. Goes to the corner. Baseline drive for Bayshore. Double team comes. He needs help. Fires it out to Stokes. Skip past Talon Hole. Talon steps inside the defense. Gets to the block. Out to Bayshore. Thought about the three. Tries to feed Ahart. He got tipped twice. Somehow Britton gets it back. He skips it out to Talon. Wing three. Off the iron won't go. Britton the offensive board. And he is fouled. And we'll go to the COMC free throw line for 2. Mustangs doing a much better job on the glass in this second half. Both Tam and Ahart being very active. First free throw rattles out. Second free throw off the iron as well. Ball out of bounds, and it was last touched by Cuba. So neither free throw fell, but the Mustangs going to get another look at this. Ahart was the trigger man, gets it back, dishes it out. Zach Hole, wing three off the back iron. Zach knew it was missed from the shot, followed it all the way to the rack, got the rebound, but misses the putback. So Cuba with the rock down by 16. Once again, you see opportunities for Eldon to really close the door, but it seems like Cuba's found a way to keep it alive through and through. Top of the key are the Wildcats. And once again, just going to hip it and try to run a set here. Cuba very patient offensively. Going to the block. Kicked back out to the opposite corner. Drive inside, running scoop shot, rolls and falls. There was nothing easy about that one, but the Wildcats get it to go. Back the other way, Bayshore, spin move on the block, and looked like a pretty move, but they're going to say that Rhett pulled the pivot foot before he got the shot up. Rhett going to get a breather here as Stokes is checked back into the game. We've got 3:20 remaining in the American Sun Control third quarter of action, and kind of at a stalemate offensively. 14-point game, 38-24, the Mustangs lead. Eldon really extending that pressure as Tam forced him all the way out past the volleyball line before Zach Hole came up. Tam kind of switched off with him. Oh, a nice take from Cuba all the way to the rack. Shot falls, and one opportunity coming up here. So Cuba could cut this down to an 11-point game with a made free throw here with 2:55 remaining. The free throw is good. 38-27, racing the other way. Eldon getting to the block, skipped out top of the key, inside Ahart. He spins on the block, scoops it off the glass, but the shot too strong. So Cuba's defense causing some issues here. Cuba inside, and oh wow, an offensive charge going to be called. They're going to say that the player threw the arm out a little bit, trying to clear space on the baseline, so the ball will go back to the Mustangs. 2:30 to play. Eldon really needs to see a shot fall here. They've kind of went cold offensively after a hot start to the second half. They went on an 8-0 flurry to start this half, but it's been a 7-0 run from Cuba to get back in this game. High post is Ahart. Wing three, Zach Hull. Halfway down, came back out. So once again, Eldon struggling to get the lid off the basket here. They've had some good looks, just not falling. Cuba races the other way. Weave high post, dished out to the corner. Corner three from the Wildcats off the front iron. Offensive board kept alive. Dished out to the opposite corner. Another corner three fired. It's long. Rebound this time controlled by Cody Tam. Head to the wing is Bayshore. Jump step inside. Zach Hull has to go back and save it. He throws it back, and it's picked off by Cuba. On the run out, 2-on-1. Wildcats right side. Off the iron won't go. It's tipped out to Bayshore. Now Ahart up the left wing. Drives baseline. Shot won't go. And the long rebound tipped out. Saved back by Stokes, but it winds up with Cuba. Very frantic pace this last two possessions. To the block. Cuba's shot won't go, and it's tipped and controlled by Hull. Neither team can get a shot to fall in these last 2 minutes. Ahart races, Euros, lays it off the glass and in. Soft touch by Ahart. And the drought ends for Eldon as they get the bucket to fall and restore a 13-point lead. Afternoon basketball is always interesting. I swear, this time of day just does not lend itself to the kids being completely locked in. You see a lot of these little mishaps when you play a 4 o'clock game. Cuba inbounding at half court. 1:03 to play in a 13-point Mustang lead. Ball tipped out of bounds. But it was last touched by Eldon, so it will stay with the Wildcats. Once again, Eldon's defense has been fantastic. You've given up 27 points through 3 quarters. That's really not too shabby, especially since a lot of it has come from some tough contested threes. Cuba on the wing being harassed. It was Zach Hull and Bayshore there, now trying to drive baseline. Stokes gives up nothing. It's a skip pass. Opposite wing worked over to the corner. Tam closes out and blocks it. Cuba keeps it alive. Thought about the shot at the top of the key. Out to the right wing. Mustangs are closing out fast on these threes right now. Wing three, little space, gets launched and hit. So Cuba stayed patient and finally got the shot they wanted, and it's back to a 10-point game. How does Eldon answer? Tam goes to the hole, little fader, rattles and comes out. So Cuba, with 19 seconds left, has the rock and could potentially get this down to a single-digit game with a bucket here. Corner three, got it. Cuba has cut it back to 7. Mustangs led by as much as 18 this quarter with 5 seconds left. Can Eldon get a look before the quarter closes? A half-court heave off the back iron wouldn't go. We've played 3. Cuba, with a nice third quarter, cuts it back to 7. It's 40-33 when we come back. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Whoa, Central Ozarks Medical Center, your health, our mission.
This winter, support those in need who may need a warm winter coat this season. It's the Central Ozarks Medical Center's Winter Coat Drive. Please donate any new, gently used, or freshly laundered jacket, coat, gloves, hats, scarves, or or any other winter wear. If you or your family member need one of these items, simply stop by any location and grab something off the rack. You'll find COMC locations in Camdenton on North Business Route 5, Osage Beach at 3870 Columbia Avenue, Richland at 304 West Washington Avenue, in Eldon at 407 East 15th Street, the Lori location at 401 North Main Street, and the Hy-Vee location in Osage Beach. Share the warmth. One coat, one community with Central Ozarks Medical Center.
COMC, the healthy place to be.
As we jump into our Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter of action, Eldon, there have been multiple times where it looked like they were going to finally really blow this thing open, close the door on Cuba. But, man, give the Wildcats their credit. They have stormed back every time and had some sort of run to make this a close game again. 3, top of the key from Cuba. Off the mark, won't go long. Rebound saved back by Ahart, but recovered by the Wildcats. Euro all the way to the basket. Off the glass, won't go. Cuba wanted a call. The ref said nope. It was clean. Good defense by Britton. Eldon going back to work, up by 7. High post is Ahart. Turns, draws the triple team, dishes the corner to Stokes. Quickly out to Hole, nearly stolen, but Talon keeps it alive. Red, pass fake inside. Cuba turning up the intensity. Stokes thought about the corner 3, lobs it into Ahart. Turnaround jumper, too strong off the back iron. Cuba has the ball and all the momentum right now. Cuba to the block, outside, thought about the wing 3, top of the key, lane, middle of the paint, shot won't go. Offensive board kept alive, nearly stripped and stolen, but Cuba maintains possession. Corner 3, dialed up and splashed home. Cuba now back within 4. Eldon led by 18 in the third, and we've now got a 4-point game here in the fourth. And a timeout called by the Eldon bench. Coach Caudell has seen this lead disintegrate, wants to talk it over with his boys. We'll take a quick break, come back with the rest of the fourth quarter. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
With a Citizens Bank debit card, you'll never have to wonder if your check will be accepted. Hi, this is Ryan Pryor from Citizens Bank of Eldon and Versailles. You can use your card anywhere MasterCard debit card is accepted. To make purchases at your favorite merchant, get cash in an ATM, or to make a purchase online. Your purchases will be deducted from your checking account and will appear on your monthly statement. Ask for an application. Member FDIC.
A hometown bank, a hometown friend.
This fourth quarter has started out exactly how Cuba would want and the opposite of what Eldon want. Eldon, once again, led by as much as 18 in that third quarter, but have just gone cold offensively. Meanwhile, Cuba has found a way to get points when they needed them. It is 40-36, just a 4-point game. Eldon with the rock, really just needing to see a shot go here. Bayshore on the point, 6:30 to play. Inside to Talon, it's poked loose from behind. Cuba's got the steal. Cuba could cut this to a one-possession game with a field goal here. They attack, go to the wing. Another 3 dialed up for the Wildcats and give them another 3. It's a 1-point game, 40-39. Eldon a little shell-shocked right now as it seemed like they were just in full dominant control, but Cuba has come storming back. Ahart on the wing, a shot fake, dishes it to the weak side. Stokes gets it. Krause goes to Bayshore. Back to Stokes, the corner is Talon. Tam posting, they go to Cody. He dishes it back out. Eldon has got to find a way inside of this zone. Bayshore thought about the wing 3. He drives, penetrates, dishes to Hole. Hole a shot fake, steps into the short corner, takes the contact, but his layup off the mark and goes back to Cuba. Mustangs seem a little befuddled by this zone that Cuba's running right now and how active they are in it. So any field goal here could give Cuba the lead. Winner goes on to the consolation game to be played on Friday. Cuba drives baseline. It's taken away. Go back out to the wing. Working around the outside. Thought about the corner 3. Drive. Dish to the opposite wing. Wing 3 for the lead. Cuba's got it. Cuba has stormed back from 18 down to now go up by 2 with 5:15. Eldon has got to find their offense. Around the outside, Tam on the right wing. Top of the key, Stokes. Ball is tipped, but recovered by Ahart. Ahart skips it over to Stokes. Bayshore inside. Little head shoulder fake from Ahart. He goes inside to Hole, and Talon is fouled. Still a lot of time left in this game. Once again, this is the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter of action. Ahart, the trigger man, inbounds to Bayshore. Corner three for the lead. Got it. Eldon needed that in the worst way as Red Bayshore delivers on a corner three. Ref showing some ups to go get the net that was hung up. He did that pretty casually. So Eldon regains a 1-point lead. Cuba looking to answer. Inside-out game. Cuba has been living offensively from the three-point line. They penetrate and then dish back out. They like the wing three. Spin move on the block. Good defense from Ahart. Shot spins out, and Britton has the board. And trying to run just a little too fast. They were looking to feed Bayshore on the run out, and instead it was thrown into the Eldon bench, so a soft turnover back to the Wildcats. Ahart picking him up at the top of the key. Driving lane to the basket. Ahart strips from behind. And they're going to get him for a shooting foul, I believe, and that's going to send Cuba to the COMC free throw line, once again for a chance to tie or take the lead. First free throw is off the mark. Cale Hammond comes back into the game. He'll check in for Britton Ahart. Second free throw off the mark as well, and the rebound last touched by we'll say it was last touched by Eldon, so the ball will stay with Cuba. Mustangs with a 1-point lead. 4:17 remaining in the Jason Blankenship CPA third. Catch and shoot three won't go. Hammond had the board. It was knocked loose, but Tam corrals it. Gets it to Talon Hull, who handles the pressure. Mustangs up one after leading by as much as 18 in this game. A big bucket from Rhett Bayshore gave them back this 1-point lead, and now as we go under 4 to play in the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth, Eldon trying to grow that lead. Tam in the corner. Goes out to Stokes. They're trying to spread out this zone. Bayshore catches it on the wing, and Coach Caudell wants a timeout to set up his offense. It is a full, so we'll take the break as well. 3:47 remains in the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Since 1944, Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company, Morgan County's only locally owned lumber yard, has been providing the area with quality building materials needed for its building, remodeling, and repair projects. Because customer care is Carpenter Gunther's #1 goal, your project is always their priority. They take as much pride in your project as you do. Reach them at 378-4433 Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, and 8 to noon on Saturday. Carpenter Gunther, where they put the home in hometown business.
You're listening to tonight's broadcast on KTKS for Sales Eldon at the Lake of the Ozarks and 95.1 FM. Also online at lakeradio.com and streaming at MoSportsZone.com. I'm Colton Taylor. Paige Miller back at the studio engineering this afternoon's contest in a game that looked like Eldon was going to just run away and hide with this thing. They led by 18 in the third, but man, Cuba came storming back mainly because of the three ball. They have been an inside-out team that is just looking to get wing threes, and they have knocked them down when they needed to. They actually led briefly in this fourth quarter before a big Rhett Bayshore three-pointer gave the Mustangs back the lead by 1. That's where we set now, 43-42, Eldon with the rock. Eldon on offense. Ahart back into the game. They went to the corner. It's nearly stripped by Cuba. Talon corrals it and skips it over to Bayshore. Tam gets nearly tackled. That is a foul. So Eldon keeps possession. Just the second team foul on Cuba. Only one on the Mustangs over halfway through this fourth quarter of action. Ahart uses the Tam screen. Drops it off to Hull. They're really watching Britton. They don't want him to get it on the block. The double team comes. He dishes out to Talon. Thought about the three. Goes over to Cody. Britton is just floating around low post to high post. They go at the top. Britton gets it at the high post, turns and attacks, dishes to the corner to Stokes. Working it around Bayshore, a couple pass fakes. Now over to Talon. Talon lobs it to Cody, went way up to get that pass. Back out to Red. Wing 3, got it! Red Bayshore with 2 huge threes in this fourth quarter. First one to give the Mustangs the lead, and the second to extend it to a 4-point game. Cuba trying to answer. Running that weave, little inside-out game. Top of the key, great pressure by Bayshore. Wing 3 left side for Cuba. It's long, and the rebound pulled in by Stokes. Poked loose by the Wildcats, but it'll stay with Eldon. So Eldon with a 2-possession lead, trying to add to that. Stokes will run the point. Little three-quarter court pressure. They get it to Tam on the backside. He drives, has to pick it up, and resets with Talon Hole. When you've got the 4-point lead, you can be a little more patient here. Eldon showing that. The right side is Bayshore. 2:15 remaining in the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth. Oh, they get it to Ahart on a back cut. The double team comes. He skips it out to Bayshore. To the corner. Cody thought about the 3. Decides it's better to skip it to Hole at the high post. Hole loses his footing. Ball's on the floor. And tied up. Jump ball is called. A possession arrow will favor Eldon. So a good job tying that one up. It looks like it was lost, but Ahart was able to tie it up and keep possession with the Mustangs with 2:03 to go in a 4-point lead for Eldon. A bucket here could be huge and really kind of force the hand of Cuba. Lobbed into Ahart out on the wing. He goes to Talon. Would-be steal flies by. Patiently around the outside again. Eldon going to work and find the look they want. Stokes to Bayshore, back to Tam. Now they're running a 2-post set as Eldon. It's Zach Hole at the high post now, and they're flashing Ahart. Out on the wing. Oh, it's picked off. Cuba has it and wants to run. Maybe a little too much passing there from Eldon as the runner on the weak side shot won't go. Eldon just caught a break. Ahart gets the ball ahead to Stokes. The layup just got smoked off the glass by Cuba. Otherwise, we'd have a 1-possession game. Lead stays at 4, 46-42 with 1:20 to go. Coach Caudell calling out a set to his squad. It's now straight man defense from Cuba. I think the Mustangs can go against this. I think this is what you want. You got to find Ahart. Ahart flares high. Hole turns the corner, goes to the rack. He's fouled hard. Talon, tough kid. A little shaken up briefly, but he gets up. Little limp to his step, but he's going to go to the COMC free throw line. Man, he took a lot of contact on the way to the rim there. He earned these free throws. Talon's first free throw rattles out. Man, you could hear how tight that rim sounds from up here. That little like clank as it rattles side to side. Second free throw rattles but falls. It is now a 5-point lead for the Mustangs with 1:05 to play. Cuba racing the other way. Drive and dish, top of the key, near travel, goes to the corner. 3 is fired. 3 off the iron, won't go. Tam the board. Cuba has lived and died by the 3. They lived a lot of that first half, but it hasn't been as promising here in the fourth, and the Mustangs up by 5. Bayshore had a look from 3, wisely resets. You're up 5. You don't need to take that shot. That was a veteran move. Talon under pressure, goes to Ahart. They extend it, and a reach-in foul going to be called. Eldon in the situation up 2 possessions where you can play a game of keep away and make them foul you. Only 3 team fouls thus far for Cuba, as they are going to take the timeout on the floor. It is a full timeout as they discuss things. So we'll take one final break here in regulation and come back with the final 41 seconds of this one as Eldon leads 47-42. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
When you're looking for a new furnace or air conditioner, price is important, but warranty, reliability, and efficiency are big factors too. At DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling, you'll receive very competitive pricing on the industry-leading AirEase products. Every AirEase product is built on 80 years of experience, testing, and research. Servicing the Lake and Jefferson City areas for nearly 15 years, DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling for reliable products offered by reliable people. Call DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling.
Oh, Paige. It's always fun. We have 41 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Eldon fell behind 1 after leading by as much as 18. But Rhett Bayshore, with 2 of the most clutch threes you're going to see this year, helped extend things back out. Eldon now back up by 5. Eldon with the rock, and only, 14 fouls now, I should say, have been called against Cuba. So for Eldon, you don't have to really take a shot. Ideally, you don't want to. You want to play a game of keep away here and make Cuba foul you. You know who you want the ball in the hands of. I say that they get it into Ahart on the cut. They knew Cuba was going to be thinking foul game like I was just saying, and Ahart gets the easy lay, and the lead is back at 7. Mustangs got to play clean defense. Corner 3 lined up off the iron, won't go. Rebound tipped and winds up in the hands of Bayshore. With 25 seconds left, Eldon is trying to close this thing and advance to the consolation game, plus pick up win number 4 on the season. And with 24 seconds left in the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter, it's going to be a trip to the COMC free throw line for Rhett Bayshore. Rhett's first free throw, it's a line drive, but it is through. 50-42, the lead back at 8, and Rhett can make it 9 with a second COMC free throw right here. And he does. And those were both just pure, no doubt about it, free throws. So with 20 seconds remaining, Cuba racing ahead, but I think Eldon may have done enough. Nice shot fake. Oh, but great defense from behind by Cody. As Tam strips it, Bayshore picks it up, and he is fouled. Heads-up play from Tam as he got all ball and was able to knock that one loose. Rhett recovered it, and now Rhett, he hit 2 big threes here in the fourth, but now he's trying to close this thing out with free throws as he could extend this back to double digits. Eldon not even sending the rest of the squad to rebound. They're all back on the defensive side of the court just waiting. And Rhett's free throw's good. He's 3 of 3 from the line, and it's a 10-point Mustang lead with 14.6 to go. Second free throw. Rhett left the line before it ever went through. He knew it was pure, and he was right. It's an 11-point lead. Cuba going to race into the front court and try to get a look. Wing 3 fired up. Off the back iron, won't go. Long rebound. Talon heads up play just to tip it to himself on the run out. He'll pull it out to the wing and let the clock expire. Eldon has a big fourth quarter to take this one back over. They pick up the win over Cuba, get their 4th win of the season, and advance to the consolation game coming up on Friday. Your post-game show is coming up next. You're listening to KS95 Sports.
Spread some holiday cheer this season at Baxter's Lakeside Grill. Baxter's is now booking private holiday parties, from small corporate gatherings to celebrations of up to 50 guests. Whether you're planning a relaxed lunch or an elegant evening event, Baxter's delivers incredible food, warm hospitality, and that unforgettable Lake of the Ozarks view. Reserve your holiday party today by calling 573-365-2669. Savor the food. Remember the view. Baxter's Lakeside Grill, Bagnell Dam Boulevard, Lake Ozark.
It's happening now at GT Brothers Automotive in Eldon, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. No hidden fees, no gimmicks, just great rides and incredible prices. We're talking cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs ready to roll. Plus bank and credit union rates starting below 5% with approved credit. Locally owned, hometown proud, and here to hook you up with unbeatable deals and service after the sale. Don't wait. Get to GT Brothers Automotive on Business Highway 54 South in Eldon, or call 573-557-2200. That's GT Brothers Automotive, where great deals and lifetime peace of mind comes standard.
Take your softball and baseball skills to the next level. The Shed is Eldon's own indoor hitting facility that features 2 full cages with screens, tees, and pitching lanes. You'll love their top-of-the-line pitching machine that throws a variety of speeds with precise locations to perfect your swing. The Shed also has a workout facility. You can add it to your cage rental or just purchase as a regular membership. Open Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 8, and Saturday and Sunday from noon to 8. Look for the big white building across from Gerb's in Eldon. Book times now on Facebook at The Shed LLC. See you at The Shed.
Hey guys, Colton Taylor here. Sports season keeps me running, but I can keep up with it thanks to Versailles Total Fitness. Their 24-hour gym means I can always find time to get in a workout. Their spacious gym with free weights, cable machines, 4 new treadmills, and even an assisted dip and pull-up machine makes reaching your fitness goals easier. You can become a healthier you today at Versailles Total Fitness at 131 North Monroe, or just give them a call at 573-789-6800.
A full-service graphics company, Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising does it all, from screen printing, offset printing, and promotional advertising to custom-built trophies and awards. It's where they do it the right way. Check out their Facebook page for their monthly special, and don't forget they offer online stores for all your group and activities needs. Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising, across from the Family Center on Highway 52 East in Versailles. Call 573-378-5775.
We are back with our GT Brothers Automotive Post-Game Show, and joined now by the head coach of the Eldon Mustangs, Coach Caudell. Coach, you guys came out red hot, found yourself down 2-0 and decided let's just go on a double-digit run and take the lead. Very dominant first half. What was working for your squad in that first half of play?
We did a really good job of running in transition, which is what we've, again, it's been the big thing, a big push this year. I really loved the way that we got out and did that. But at the end of the day, we got to finish better. We could have put things away in that first half. Pretty sure we missed about 7 layups in the first half. That's another 14 points right there, and that's a totally different game than what we had there at the end if we just finished things out.
I know you would have rather it been closed out that way, but I will say in the fourth quarter, at one point, Cuba came down after being down 18, comes back, takes a 1-point lead. But your kids showed a little grit, specifically Rhett Bayshore. He hit back-to-back clutch threes for your squad. How big of a boost was that, and how much did that contribute to the final result?
Like you said, obviously it's not the way we would like for it to go, but I am really proud of the way that we handled the situation. It would have been easy for us to have said, oh, here we go again, right? There's things like that we've done in the past, and we ended up losing those games. Rhett, the whole game, stayed locked in. He did a great job. Obviously, he was taking away their best player most of the game. He played hard the entire game. That's the thing. The reason why he hit those shots is because I believe of the great decisions he was making early in the game. They came out and closed out to him a little bit, too quick, and he had some great attacks instead of just shooting it. Great attacks, finding his guys, and then they didn't close out at all. And so to come out with confidence and go ahead and hit that was really big on his part.
And mind you, this is a good Cuba squad. We were looking at some of the teams they've played with. They played a pretty competitive, close game with a good Fatima squad and some others like that. So this is a very nice win for you guys. And now you move on to this consolation game coming up on Friday. And I'm not sure who you'll face off. I guess we'll find that out a little later this evening. But this seems pretty big for your squad. How important would it be to potentially go get that win in that consolation game and get 5 good wins before the Christmas break?
Oh, that's huge. Looking just for confidence. We had 5 wins total last year, so to get that before Christmas break would be that'd be awesome. And then obviously again though, it's more than the wins and losses. It's just learning to execute better, learning to be in the moment for every play. Our guys still learning how valuable each moment is, and so we have a couple of things like I mentioned, the layups or a couple missed blockouts here and there that allow them to put either easy putbacks or kick out threes. We had a couple of them that they hit kick out threes, and that got them going from the 3-point line. Basketball is a game of runs, and the way that you become successful is learning how to extend your run and eliminate others. And so we just got to, again, it's another learning opportunity for us to learn from that tonight. And we're excited. Again, whoever we face, whether that be Linn or California, we're excited for another opportunity on Friday.
Coach, I feel like we've had a lot of talks over the years, especially with this group after games where we'd say, what'd you learn from this and so forth. But in complete honesty, a lot of those were after a tough loss. Well, this is now the second time that I've got to talk to you in which I feel like you definitely see some things of, hey, we need to improve on this. But coming out with a win and being able to improve on it. So I was always told one of the toughest things you can ever teach people is how to win games, or how to be winners, how to finish games.
Absolutely.
It seems like this group, these seniors, maybe have figured that out through the years. And so even while you have stuff to work on, you're still winning games. How important is that to have this kind of leadership, this senior group, and what impact are they having on your squad right now?
Oh, it's just the mentality. This group, the knock on them, through the years has just been the mentality. Whenever something doesn't go their way and, we kind of, I won't say roll over, but they kind of fold a little bit, right? And so they kind of crack with each other. We might have shown moments of that tonight, but at the end of the day, they got back together, and we've done that, like you said, multiple times now this year. So and even again, I think, even back to Mizzou, we obviously ended up losing that one. But again, we had those moments like that we're continuing to get better. And that's what, especially here early in the year, it's all about, is learning how to go through these moments and make yourself better as a team. Again, never getting too high, never getting too low. And so, like I said, I'm proud of our guys for we've really taken a lot of steps from where we were last year at learning those lessons.
It really shows. Your guys had a very impressive performance. Nice lead early, but a nice comeback at the end, and above all, win number 4 on the season. Coach, look forward to seeing you on Friday. Thanks for coming to chat, and congratulations on another win.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, that is Coach Caudell, the head coach of these Eldon Mustangs, as they pick up win number 4 on the season and punch their ticket to the consolation game coming up on Friday. So an impressive outing, and I got to tell you, it's one of those games. We give a shed batting cage MVP at the end of the game, and I've got options. I'm not going to lie. If you asked me at halftime, I was going to say it's going to Cody Tam. He's leading them in scoring. How could I not? Cody had a great game. I'm not disrespecting anything that the Mo Valley commit has done tonight, but Rhett Bayshore hit back-to-back clutch threes in that fourth quarter and then knocked down 4 consecutive free throws. He had 10 points in the fourth to ice this game, and his defense all night was a problem for them. So I'm going to have to give the shed batting cage player of the game to Rhett Bayshore, because when the Mustangs were down 1, Rhett really turned it on and put this team on his back a little bit at times. So no offense towards Cody. I know we're going to give Cody several of those before the year is done. He had a great game as well, but I'm definitely going to go Rhett Bayshore for the shed batting cage player of the game. And once again, this is the GT Brothers Automotive postgame show. So Eldon will advance to the consolation game to be played on Friday. We'll have coverage of that game for you. It'll be at 7 o'clock on Friday night. They will face off with the winner of Linn and California. So that could be an interesting one, as the Mustangs will either get to see the home team here for this tournament, the Linn Wildcats, or Tri-County rivals, California Pintos. Either way should be a fun one, but we'll be back on Thursday as Osage plays Tipton in the semifinals of the championship bracket for the right to move on to the championship game to be played on Saturday. Big thanks to Paige Miller back at the studio. She's been my director, producer, engineer, statistician. I don't know, all those things I need to keep this broadcast going tonight. But that's going to put a wrap on our GT Brothers Automotive postgame show and our Martin Medal broadcast as Eldon defeats Cuba 53-42. This has been another production of KS95 Sports. Good night.